Oh, hi, I'm Mal from the Money Study, and we bring you another episode in the Ultimate PSS Education Series, and we're now up to number 35. What difference would it make if you went part-time just before retirement, perhaps for a year or two or three? Let's find out, but before we do, just look at our disclaimer, facts and figures, information only. We are not giving you advice in these episodes. So first of all, just a bit of a recap all about part-time. Yes, your ABM is calculated at a pro rata rate, meaning that if you were doing 10% full-time, getting a multiple of 0.31, if you decided to do 4 days a week, then your multiple would drop down to 4/5 of that. And what's that, 0.248? And so your multiple gets prorated just depending on how many hours you were doing out of your normal full-time hours. So it's prorated. But your salary is totally unimpacted, meaning that if you're on a $120,000 salary and you drop down to an $80,000 part-time salary, when they come to do the calculation, it's all based on the full-time salary. Your salary is totally, it just remains the same. There is no impact whatsoever on your salary by working part-time as far as the PSS is concerned there. So, and of course, you are not even part-time until your next birthday, meaning that they only find out that you're part-time on your birthday, because that's when your payroll notify PSS of your current salary and so forth and your work status. And so basically, if you go part-time after your birthday, just after birthday, so the following fortnight perhaps, then you will find that you'll be full-time all the way through until your next birthday. There would be no adjustment for part-time hours because you are still full-time as far as they know until the next birthday. Now, of course, your contributions are based on what they know. So you'd still be doing full-time contributions even though you would be part-time until they find out you're part-time, and then your contributions would become prorated. So as soon as they find out you're part-time, your contributions in dollar terms drop, still remaining at a 10% or whatever in the same percentage, but of course your salary has dropped to part-time, so does your level of contributions once they find out you are part-time. So in theory, just imagine you're retiring at 60 and you decide to get to 59 and you go, oh my gosh, one more year of full-time, I'm really ready to spit it. And you could indeed get to your birthday at 59, wait until your birthday is gone, go part-time 1 day a week or 2 days a week all the way through to 60. And effectively what it boils down to is your PSS would be exactly the same at 60 because they won't find out you're part-time until you turn 60, and that's when you're retiring. They only adjust it going forwards, not backwards. So your PSS would be absolutely no different even with you went 1 day a week, 3 days a week or 5 days a week in that scenario there. And of course, generally speaking, it's better to work part-time than not work at all. Because you see, even though you've gone part-time and you're reducing your multiple, you're not reducing your total multiple. Your multiple is still growing. You can't get less by going part-time. You're still going to get more because it's going to be growing because you're still at work. If you quit, yep, everything stops. But if you basically go part-time, your multiple is still building, and in theory, your salary would still be going up and your benefit is still growing even though you're on part-time. So let's have a look at an example here, just to put some numbers to this. Here we've got a member who's 57 and they're considering working 3 more years through to the age of 60. They're currently working full-time, contributing 10%. Now what they want to do is they want to find out what would happen if they went part-time just 3 days a week. So they're going to go from 5 days a week to 3 days a week over this next 3-year period. Currently got a FAS there at 57 of 96,000, and they've got a total multiple at the moment of 6.9. Now if they continue to work full-time, contributing the 10%, then they'd get a multiple of 0.31 every year as we know, And then, because they've got 3 years of it, 3 times 0.31 would give them a multiple increase of 0.93. Add that to what they've already got there, 6.9. They'd have a total multiple of 7.83 by the time they get to 60. Now, assuming that their final average salary just compounds over the next 3 years at, let's say, 2%, their final average salary at 60 would be 101,931. Therefore, their lump sum benefit is just their FAS times their ABM, and therefore they'd end up with a lump of money of $798,120. And if you divide that by the pension factor of 60, which is 11, their gross pension would be $72,556. So this person working full-time through until 60 going to end up with just shy of $800,000 and a gross pension of 72.5. Now, if they then, however, decide to do this business and go 3 days a week for that next 3 years, so long as they do it just after their birthday at 57, then they're going to get a whole year of the full-time multiple. And then for the following 2 years, their multiple would decrease to 3/5 of their 0.31, and therefore they'll only get a multiple of 0.186. So, therefore, their total multiple at 60 would be their current total 6.9, add a year of full-time, and then add 2 years of their part-time, and then end up with a multiple of 7.582. Now, the FAS is going to be the same. It's still going to be indexed. It's still going to go up. Nothing's changed. It's still the full-time equivalent, and hence their lump sum is now the 772,000. So we just multiplied the 7.582 by the 101,931, in giving them 772,841 divided by the 11. Their pension is 70,258. So what is the difference? It's a difference of $25,279 as a lump of money, or a decrease in pension of $2,298 a year. If you divide that by 26, $88 a fortnight. So their pension would be $88 a fortnight less if they went 3 days a week for 3 years there. Now, obviously, if you went, part-time for 20 years, it's going to make quite a substantial difference. But you can see a year or two at the end is not really going to make a hell of a difference. And of course, had they really retired at 57 because they just didn't want to work, no, the difference would be quite staggering. So remember, of course, that you are saving on the level of contributions. If you go part-time, you're not paying in your 10%, so you've saved a bit of money there. But of course, you are losing in the regard that your salary has gone from full-time to part-time. So a lot of things to weigh up there. What we do is just sort of go through the scenario, and we just do some number crunching to actually work out what this is actually in net terms, because it would be a slightly different in net terms because of the slightly smaller salary and so forth. Then we look at what you've actually put in total compared to if you're part-time or full-time, and come up with a number to say, okay, is it worth it or isn't it? So we're there to help you sort of crunch all the numbers. If you want someone to do it for you, please just make a booking through our website. We'll see you again on another episode. Thank you.